Westwood Studios did what so many game studios failed to do. It released a follow-up to a successful game that surpassed the original. Red Alert was one of the top-selling games of 1996, surpassing the sales of its predecessor. The next year, Westwood released two expansion packs entitled Counterstrike and The Aftermath. Unlike the Covert Operations expansion pack to Command and Conquer, which served as little more than a glorified map pack, these expansions filled out the story and were far more similar to modern-day expansions. In this final installment of Hell March, we will discuss these two expansion packs and sum up any final comments on the Red Alert game as a whole. Counter-Strike and the Aftermath offer 16 and 18 new missions respectively, and presents them with all new FMV segments with new characters, some of which will return in later games. Just as with the Covert Operations, the missions in these games take place concurrent with Red Alert mission campaigns, and serve as expansions and recontextualizations of some of the missions in that game. In these expansion packs, the player takes on the persona of a separate commander from the one waging the main war campaign. At its most basic, the expansions were more of what made Red Alert great. There are also some bonus missions included, which we'll touch on. Let's discuss Counter-Strike first. The Allied campaign of Counter-Strike is broken up into three mini-campaigns dealing with the Soviet sarin gas production, the fall of Greece, and conflict in Siberia. We are introduced to a new American general, Ben Carville, who will provide missions for the commander to achieve. General Carville is a mainstay of the series, appearing in both expansion packs, Red Alert 2 and Yuri's Revenge, as well as being named in Red Alert 3. He is the quintessential Texan, brash, boisterous, and direct. In the latter stages of the war, America joined the Allied war effort and sent several commanders to assist in the effort. General Carville was one of the foremost, and it is believed that the player character is as well. The first three missions concern the elimination of Soviet sarin gas production. In the first, a convoy transporting a large shipment of the gas through Greece has been discovered. While it pauses, Carville realizes this is a golden opportunity to eliminate the threat, and dispatches the commander to destroy the entire convoy. This is a traditional production seek-and-destroy mission. In the next mission, Carville explains that the convoy has been traced to an underground facility which is suspected to be part of the Soviet sarin gas production plant. The commander is ordered to enter the facility with his troops and clear it out. This is a unique mission for a few reasons, one being that it is an inside mission, which we saw a few times in the base game, and the other being the use of the spy to shut down and capture enemy resources to use in the mission. After arriving at the other side of the facility, leading to the primary sarin gas production location, the commander is dispatched to infiltrate the Soviet power grid in order to shut down a wall of Tesla coils, thereby allowing the heavier forces to move in and capture the processing buildings. With the sarin gas threat dealt with, the focus turns to the war in Greece. As the fighting approaches Athens, General Stavros has insisted upon surveying the damage to his home country himself. As such, the commander has been assigned an escort mission to show him the devastation and get him evacuated as soon as possible using Agent Tanya as his primary escort. This mission serves to add context to Stavros' clear anger at what is happening in Greece that we see in the main game's campaign. As Soviet forces continue to ravage the country, the commander is then assigned to the evacuation of a group of 4 towns to a nearby island where they will then be airlifted out of the country. In the next mission, Carville informs the commander that the Soviets have restarted their research into atomic weaponry. Stavros has insisted upon meeting with an informant in the area, and the Soviets have gotten wind of the meeting. The commander is sent to destroy a convoy of trucks transporting atomic materials through the area. This mission is followed up with an attack on an atomic processing station that the convoy in the previous mission was traced back to. In the final mission, the commander is assigned to finish off the last of the Soviet forces in Siberia to clear the way for Allied Commander A9's assault on Moscow. All in all, it's a fun campaign that kind of gives us a look at the behind-the-scenes activities from the base game. While the Allied Counterstrike campaign fits into the overall canon story of the Red Alert game, the Soviet campaign doesn't do so quite as well. We're introduced to General Tupolov, the commanding officer for the campaign. He informs the player character that Allied General Stavros has been located in an underground bunker filled with chronosphere prototypes, intending to use them to escape. The first mission is to infiltrate the facility and kill the general. This is followed by a mission based upon a garbled transmission. It is believed the chronosphere is being tested in the area and the commander is dispatched to try to capture it. This mission is really fun because its gimmick is that the chronosphere testing has caused odd anomalies that translate to unique unit abilities. For instance, the light tank has armaments from the Mammoth tank, the V-2 rocket launchers equipped with atomic warheads, and rifle infantry with 300% of their base health. The next mission sees the commander assigned to disrupt Allied testing of a new fuel-air bomb. This is followed by a mission to destroy a research facility where an Allied MiG equipped with a nuclear payload is being constructed. This leads into missions where subterfuge has set the Soviets back and Tupolev is suspected. A naval mission where the Allies are attacking a facility that is producing a new advanced tactical submarine, and a mission where a saboteur has placed explosive charges on buildings within Soviet bases. The next mission introduces a Soviet cybernetic soldier, Volkov, who is used to recover stolen Soviet technology from an Allied base. The final mission sees the commander needing to escort a cargo truck through a dangerous area in a specific time period, or else succumb to the sub-zero temperatures. The campaign ends with Tupolev announcing he has been cleared of any suspicion and thanks the commander for his help. Overall, it's a fun, if not entirely eventful, campaign. In addition to the extra missions, Counterstrike also provides the player with a handful of interesting new unit varieties, all of them in the Soviet campaign. Note that these are not actual new units, but are mission-specific varieties of already existing units. The first of these new units are Volkov and Chitskoy, a heavily armored commando and an attack dog that can lunge further than the normal attack dog. We also get to see the prototype Tesla tank, which is a radar jammer that can use the Tesla coil attack, and the advanced tactical submarine, which is a regular submarine equipped with atomic warheads. Not what we will come to expect from an expansion pack, but we can definitely see the thinking that we will see in the future. Just as with the covert operations containing 5 bonus missions where the enemy is dinosaurs, Counter-Strike has a bonus campaign as well, taking place after the Allied victory, called It Came from Red Alert. It starts with General Carville listening to a report from someone on the phone. Apparently, a hive of giant ants have been discovered in England and compromise the entire southern perimeter. He orders the commander to eliminate the threat. This group of 4 missions is exactly what it sounds like. Giant ants are threatening to overrun different sections of Europe, and it is your responsibility to end the threat once and for all. The look and style of the 4 missions looks more like Command and Conquer than Red Alert, with your units bearing the yellow of GDI rather than the blue of the Allies. The Allies trace the source of the ants to an underground Soviet research facility. It's a fun little side campaign. Almost 6 months after the release of Counter-Strike, Westwood released a second expansion to Red Alert called The Aftermath. Unlike Counter-Strike, the 2 campaigns' canonicity may be compatible. Both campaigns require a little bit of finagling to make them work together in the larger context of the main game, but I believe they do work together. The Allied campaign opens with 4 missions in Italy. The first, aimed at disrupting the production of a new submarine capable of launching sea-to-ground missiles, requiring the commander to raid the facility quickly. This is followed up with a hasty mission briefing, explaining that the Soviets have discovered your attempts at hindering their weapon development and have dispatched forces to kill Tanya and prevent your success. This is followed by a mission where General Stavros himself has elected you to lead the attack on a fortified harbor the Soviets have taken. This mission is made all the more difficult by the presence of a nearby town that harbors Soviet sympathies. The final Italy mission requires the commander to attack a former Allied base that has been taken by the Soviets and rescue the scientists stationed there. Complicating the mission is the damaged chronosphere that is set to blow at any moment. This is followed by a smattering of missions that require a whole host of strategies to complete. In one, the Soviets have taken an entire town hostage and are threatening to kill 1 hostage every 5 minutes unless their demands are met. Another sees the Soviet scientist responsible for the development of a new super tank seeking to defect. The commander must locate him where he is hiding and infiltrate the Soviet radar dome with a spy to turn the new tanks on the Soviets. These new tanks are essentially a super-powered mammoth tank. This is followed by a decoy mission where the commander is assigned the duty of protecting a fake base that Allied intelligence has leaked to the Soviets as a heavy weapons production facility. The goal is to get the Soviets to commit considerable resources to its destruction and then destroy those forces with Allied reinforcements that are inbound. A separate mission sees London facing a possible atomic bomb attack, with the only solution being for the commander to use the new chronotank to infiltrate the island where the silos are stationed to knock out Soviet SAM sites and allow for aerial reinforcements. The final mission is aimed at disrupting the Soviets' new MAD tank, a tank that sends shockwaves throughout the area. All in all, a good variety of missions. The Soviet campaign takes place in the latter stages of the Soviet defeat, with some of the missions mentioning Stalin by name. The first mission has the commander assigned to the capture of a chronosphere to use it to move to an island where the Allied chronotank is being developed. The goal is to destroy the research facility where it is being worked on. While succeeding, this mission fails to stop the chrono tank, so the next mission sees the commander attempting to destroy all forces on an island assigned to test the new weapon. The next few missions have Stalin ordering the theft of a new Allied technology, the phase transport, from a research facility and the testing of this new technology. From here, we see a shift in the Soviet campaign. The war is not going well, and its own people are beginning to turn on their leaders, with different pockets breaking off from the Union. Soviet arms dealers, the Molotov brothers, are suspected of working with the Allies. The commander is assigned the mission of spying on them and, if found to be traitors, destroy them. This is followed by two missions aimed at dealing with civilian uprisings, which Stalin once crushed. The first gives the commander the use of the new shock trooper, a soldier equipped with a portable Tesla coil. The second sees conflict against the Grunev province, equipped with both Allied and Soviet weaponry. Near the end of the mission, a message is sent out that the revolutionists are evacuating the women and children in supply trucks, and they ask you to let them pass. The commander has the option of doing so or destroying them. If you do let them pass, Stalin's elite guard will arrive and destroy them. Then they turn on you, as you've now been named traitor. This would end badly for the commander had it not been for the Allied assault on Moscow and the resulting death of Stalin. From here, we can assume the final two missions take place after the fall of Moscow. The first of these missions sees a radical faction of the remaining Soviet forces capturing a biological weapon and threatening to use it on Allied emplacements. Due to the unstable nature of the weapon, Soviet command wants them stopped, and the only way is to infiltrate the facility with a Soviet scientist. Volkov has been sent to escort the scientist, and finally, the Allies capture Volkov and attempt to learn what they can of his construction. The commander is dispatched to reacquire him and destroy the research facility. Once again, a good variety of missions for the Soviets as well. In addition to the 18 new missions, the aftermath brought new units to the game, some of which would continue on into the future. Both sides were granted the use of the demolition truck, a supply truck loaded with a nuclear warhead which could be rammed into things, causing a massive explosion. This will become a mainstay for the Command and Conquer series moving forward. On the Allied side, we are given the field mechanic, which serves as the vehicle version of the medic, keeping the Allied mobile division rolling. There's also the new chrono tank, which consists of a tank that can chrono shift across the map, allowing for all new sneak attack options. The final new Allied unit is the phase transport, a vehicle that can carry one infantry unit and bends light around itself in the visible spectrum, effectively rendered invisible. The Soviets saw a number of new units as well, such as the MAD tank, a devastating seismic weapon built on the chassis of a mammoth tank. The missile submarine was rolled out in the latter months of the war, a submarine that could attack targets on land as well as at sea, seeking to overcome a significant shortcoming of the Soviet Navy. The Soviets also continued developing its Tesla technology, rolling out the Tesla tank and the shock trooper, a tank and a soldier equipped with smaller, portable versions of the Tesla coil. Both of these would see further deployment in the next war. The Counterstrike and Aftermath expansions were major steps forward with extra content for the game, a big jump when compared with the limited offerings of the covert operations. They both sold really well, as later PlayStation repackaging of the two into a single game showed Westwood that there was still great demand for the franchise. That gave Westwood the confidence to take even bigger risks in the next installment, which would come out 2 years later. From this game, the Command & Conquer timeline will branch into two different universes, hereby referred to as the Tiberium universe and the Red Alert universe. Though the Soviets were defeated and Stalin killed, there remains resentment and ambition within the Soviet people that will rear its ugly head in the future. The technologies introduced in this war will continue to be developed, producing more and more devastating weapons in the future. Red Alert and its two expansions represented the arrival of Command & Conquer as a mainstay in the PC game arena. We're already seeing the significant improvements in unit variety and faction balancing that Westwood is implementing, and those improvements will continue into future installments. Red Alert fully opened aerial warfare into the franchise and introduced naval combat. It'll be interesting to monitor these expansions as the franchise continues to develop. This concludes this year's Hell March. When I was younger, I preferred the original Command & Conquer to Red Alert because I liked that universe better. But as I have matured, I can really recognize that Red Alert is the superior game. Last year, I recommended Command & Conquer to anyone who liked old games or wanted to play something that was historically significant. This year, I'm recommending Red Alert and its expansion packs without any of those caveats. This is a game that still holds up. Next year, we will continue Hell March with the review of Tiberian Sun. Let me know what your favorite Red Alert game is down below. Thanks for watching.